Hey, it's CJ. Do you guys remember that movie, The Ring? Like the little ladder, all the little different signs or whatever. So, I have not watched the video that's supposed to give me 7 days to live, but let's see. We had an issue last night where the air conditioning went out, so I opened the windows today while they were doing the air conditioning repairs in the building that I live in, and there was some, a fly that kept buzzing around. It got in through like a little thing through the screen, a little hole in the screen, like one fly. So, so I'm thinking about like that movie, The Ring, and like one of the thing was like a fly on the screen, and then another one was like the ladder. So I just passed the ladder. So it's weird. It was funny. Not weird. It's just my mind, does stuff. Okay, so I'm out walking around. Uh, I like last weekend. I kind of relaxed a little bit on my diet, as I do from time to time. But I typically have a keto diet, and I really think of it as a lifestyle, a keto lifestyle. And then I go out and I take like little walks, and I do it when the weather's cool. It's cooler at night, and I'm a kind of a night owl anyway. So yeah, so let me cross the street. Oh, there's traffic coming. I'll cross it in a second. Well, hold on. Well, okay, so I just decided to come up and cross at another juncture, at another intersection in the road, because, yeah. Okay, so, but yeah, typically, I live in a quiet city at Shreveport, Louisiana. It's typically so quiet for a mid-sized metro area that whenever something does go down, it makes it seem horrible. Like as compared to statistically, as compared to the crime you would find in like a large metro area, But I'm walking. This is downtown. This is the nucleus of our metro area, which I was reading about it, and the way it describes it's like great. It's like right here in the middle of three states, because it's called the Arklatex. It's like Northeast Texas, Northwest Louisiana, Arkansas, and to be honest with you, we kind of reach up and we grab that corner of Oklahoma too. So yeah, it's great. It's a great place to live. There's usually some sort of fun festival or activity going on, and otherwise, there's the casinos. There's also the clubs. If you're a club goer, I don't drink anymore because drinking just makes me like very different. uh, as it does with most people. But it seems to, it just makes me like different in ways that I don't like, so I don't drink. Anyway, I'm out walking around. There's a beautiful moon in the sky up there. It's and I have to cross the road, so I'll put you on pause for a sec. Okay, so I crossed the road, and I'm just about to pass under the bridge, the Texas Street Bridge, and it connects Shreveport to our twin city of Bossier City. Actually, Bossier City, yeah, it's interesting. It's not exactly a twin; it's just a city right next to us. It'd be like we were the bigger twin that kind of like had like a smaller twin. That's what it would be. Definitely not an identical twin. But yeah, okay, it's close enough that we're all like one kind of community. Like I have friends and neighbors that, yeah, it's cool. You know, that's how metro areas work anyway. You know, it's not like when I was a kid and I lived in Amelia, Louisiana, and we were like right next to Morgan City, Louisiana, a much smaller area, actually kind of close enough to almost be considered part of the New Orleans metro area, but not quite. So a little bit out of that reach, but yeah. Anyway, down here we got some pretty lights. I've taken this walk before. This isn't going to be one of these big walks that I'm not going to walk all over downtown. I'm just out burning some calories. I guess I was talking about before, I do a keto lifestyle, which means that I'm just kind of mindful of my carbs, where my carbs come from. I count calories. It does have me weighing in at around 130-ish, give or take, mostly take 5 or 6 pounds, you know, and that's good, you know. That's this scene. I'm a smaller guy, maybe, you know, 5'8" on a good day when I'm upright, you know, and I have a kind of a smaller skeletal system, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not like a huge guy, so it doesn't take a lot of weight to make me look or feel overweight, you know. So it's good that I be a little bit on the slighter side, which I am now. And this has helped me reverse a type 2 diabetes diagnosis, yeah. So, okay, and so this is like the final bridge that I'm gonna cross. I actually don't have to pause you, there's not traffic coming now, so. And my goal in coming over here is I wanted to look at the lights on the bridge and watch the water. That's what I do every once in a while. I'll take this little walk. Actually, a lot of times I'll walk and go like, you know, way crazy and walk all around downtown for like an hour, 2 hours or something like that. I'm not doing that tonight. But I wanted to check out this bridge. It's nothing that I haven't shown in videos before, but every once in a while, the patterns, they change the patterns of these LED lights. And one of the things that I want to do is I definitely want to continue my my appreciation of LED light technology, changeable LED light. It's not anything that's new, but it's something that I just kind of like. It's an idea that grafted to me when they did this programmable bridge, these lights on the bridge. And it's like, you know, why can't I have some wonderful, colorful lights in my apartment? And where I am now, it's a small 1-bedroom, and it's kind of an antiquated apartment and everything. And you know, I've talked before about moving. Well, everything is worked out where I'm going to get to move into a new apartment, a nice, expansive, not expensive, expansive 2-bedroom. Because I'm a single person, so it's expansive for me. I know there are bigger houses and things, but yeah. So what I'm going to do is walk over here and check out the river and the bridge and get a little bit of serenity. And we are, oh, yeah. I just gave you a big look at my nose. I wasn't trying to show you, but yeah. I love this view, and it was important to me that when I did move, that I'd still be close enough to downtown that I could come down and really enjoy it and love it. And let me come over here to a light. Aha. There's some lights right over here. Okay. I don't know why I thought some of these pedestals here had more lights on them, but I'm seeing that they don't. It's been a minute since I've been here. I know they've got some rigging that they're doing down there. I just stepped over it. Okay, so I'm moving over to a light now. This is nicer. It's not that. Actually, I can get a good. This is cool. So we can see they've kind of got kind of like a popsicle, orangey watermelon color up right now. And then, of course, it's gradually changing the bridge, the lights on it. And I like that effect. And then what is that? Oh, that's the Margaritaville Casino in the background. That creates really good, creates a really, really good skyline at this particular angle. And that's really just part of a boardwalk in Bossier City. We hoped at one time to be able to do a little bit more of that, just a block up in Shreveport. And then that proposition got voted down. There was going to be I guess New Orleans, they were losing their D League, the Pelicans. It was a basketball team. And we were looking for, trying to get them to come up here. And of course, we were going to build a sports complex, and it was going to be right next to some affordable housing, and there was going to be added shopping and everything, and it was part of, and it got, turned down by city council by I thought it was, I would say by a narrow margin. I would have thought for sure it was going to be, but for some reason, almost all of the votes on the city council declined it. Even as much, and it was a big deal. But anyway, we didn't get the D League, and I think it was that they were the selling point was the whole D League, and it's like, we've had some minor leagues, and people don't support minor league, but we've got the Mudbug. It's a hockey team, so that's been doing well. Anyway, in Louisiana, right? Ice hockey. Okay, so check this out. They did. It was like it's called Choice Neighborhood, and this is happening in many, many cities across the country where neighborhoods that have basically just been, they're in need of drastic renewal. That's this grant money has been given, and I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say 40 million was the grant that was given to us, but I may be wrong on that. Anyway, but we're working on the community renewal, and the biggest project is the Bayou Grand, and it is in an area of downtown. It's actually, traditionally, when I used to think of downtown, there was like the Common Street, and just across Common Street was maybe the Ledbetter Heights neighborhood, began that Ledbetter Heights, / the Bottoms, which used to be a red light district, and that phased out, and then it became known as Ledbetter Heights. And now I guess it's going to be known as Bayou Grand. But basically, when I've heard people talk about it, and I've heard people, it's being included in the Downtown Development Authority, and just a couple of blocks over, the same distance from downtown and everything. It's really being included as an extension of downtown, as part of downtown, and so that's good. That's good. I think I don't know where the zone is. I don't know if it's going to change the zone from where I vote in the city, because right now I'm in District C, I believe. I think it is. And so will it change my district, even though it's a few blocks over? I don't know, but it's cool either way. I'm still going to vote. So, but anyway, so it's a blended income neighborhood, meaning there will be some affordable housing, there will be some housing that is available at a lower rate for tax credit. There will be some units that will be available for those on housing assistance, various Section 8 programs and stuff like that. And then there will be some that are available at market rate, some of these wonderful apartments. And then some of them will be available at above market rate, whatever, premium. But it's all designed to attract a diverse economic patronage, residency and everything like that, so that it's either lovely. I mean, anyone who you can't find these amenities in most places, not in washers and dryers in the units, right? Garbage disposal. There's a train coming. I'll try to speak loud. I may pause it for a second. Hold on. Okay, well, the biggest part of the racket is gone. I'll try to speak up a little bit. So, where am I? I want to move a little down here where I can get a little bit more into this light. I'm wonderful. I'm silhouetted. Okay, so these apartments, the Bayou Grand apartments, they have the washers and dryers in the unit. They've got dishwasher, garbage disposal, an open kitchen, but it's not a kitchenette. Like I live now, there's like a little small kitchenette on one side of the wall, and it's right in the middle of the living space, and then there's a small dressing area, a bathroom, and then a bedroom, and I'm happy for it. I mean, it's definitely not the tightest space that I've ever lived in, and I make it work. But this is neat. For my budget and everything like that, I'm going to be able to have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. There's a balcony, a little small private balcony. It's not huge. Maybe from the size of one of this post to another. I have some wicker living room furniture, and I'm thinking if there's enough room, I may put that on the balcony. If not, I don't know. We'll see what's up. But anyway, and then there's like ceiling fans in the living room and in each of the bedrooms, and central air, and everything's kind of new, so it will be under warranty. And I'm assuming that they went through the expense of the extended warranty and stuff like that. I would have, if you're going to buy and put new equipment in and everything like that, go ahead and do the extended warranty, dependent upon what's covered or whatever. I don't know. That wasn't my decision. If I were buying a house and I were putting new appliances in, and it was, then I would go with I would look at what was covered, and if it was a good policy, I would go ahead and buy the extended warranty. But anyway, the grounds are really, really nice, and it's bordering on the Millennium Studios, so which is great here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Which, if you are an actor, and especially if you do voiceover work, Millennium Studios is someplace where you want to come and do some of that. If you know what I mean, like it's great. It's great. They do a lot of animation and short film. Started out we had a big Hollywood boom for movies and TVs from 2005 going into for about 6 or 8 years there. It was really big. You couldn't walk around downtown like I did without running into a production company on the street doing some exteriors, and so It was during that time where California was not doing tax credits, and we were in our state. And I don't know. I think we should bring some of those tax credit back for uh, big budget production. It would attract some more of that business back down here. But anyway, yeah. With these lights coming off of this water. Well, I basically just wanted to come out and get a little relaxation. I'm about to walk back to my home because by the time I get back to the apartment that I don't want to move into the new apartment at the end of this month. So keep an eye out. I'll kind of show what the apartment looks like. It's nice. It'll be a nice little upgrade for me. You know. That's not gonna really disrupt my budget too much. You know, I'll take on a little bit more of an expense, but it'll be worth it, and it'll be worth the tightening of the belt that I'll need to do. Meanwhile, upcoming, I'm going to be going to Oklahoma City. I want to say around the 20th, because there is a Pearl Jam concert, and then of course I'm going to a concert, Greta Van Fleet, in New Orleans around the 1st of November. I was just looking with my friend, and we realized had we done some research, we could have seen them both at the same venue in Louisville, Kentucky. Early next week, there's a festival going on, and it's like, oh, we could have seen them both. But we actually have better viewing at these concerts. Actually, the first concert, Pearl Jam, we're kind of going to be watching them from behind the stage. But the cool thing about that is that we'll have some really kick-ass sound, because we'll be getting rocked out from these huge speakers and everything like that. So that's going to be kind of cool. And then the Greta Van Fleet concert, we are not floor seating, but we're the level above floor seating, and we're kind of we're in an area that seems to have at least from the diagram, seems to have a really great view of the stage, and so we're not nosebleed, even though we're not like front and center. But we did that to be, more accommodating for other people in our party, me included, who and then I think, and these concerts were paid like in advance, so it's not like I'm dropping money now. So I'll be posting about those concerts, and so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to think of new ways to come up with some interesting content for my YouTube channel. I know that the TV shows that I enjoy most, and the movies and everything that they typically are the movies that I love are the big blockbusters that come out. I have the horror movies that come out around Halloween and stuff like that I love to go see and talk about those. And the shows that I love, American Horror Story being one of them. That always premieres in the fall. I kind of talked a little bit about American Horror Stories, the first few episodes, and then after that it was like, okay, well, we get the vibe of it, and they're different and everything like that. But I gave enough of a sizzle that if anyone wasn't aware of that show, they kind of get an idea of what it was about. So I didn't feel like that I needed to review every single episode that I watched, So I did, and so, but it's worth seeing. If tonight, actually, it's not tonight, I would say at about 2 o'clock in the morning, going on to that Thursday, they're going to air, roughly around that time, I don't know, they will air the final episode of the singular American Horror Stories, and hopefully we'll start getting some information, maybe perhaps in a trailer, or streaming ad spot about the new season of American Horror Story. It is about that time where we're going to start getting heads up on that. I don't think it's premiering in September. I think it's going to be they haven't given a specific date, but I'm suggesting this show, when it came out in its inception, was early to mid-October, so that you could get a good introduction to the show, and then by the time that second or third episode came around, it was Halloween time, and so you would get like the traditional each season you would get a traditional Halloween two-parter. That was that was tradition, I would say, for the first 3 seasons for sure. I don't remember that there was one specifically uh, for the. Of course, this all tells the same story, but I mean, like say for the Murder House, that first season of American Horror Story, it just like that Halloween episode. It took place over one night, so you got like 2 nights of a Halloween story, and it was like. So that's what I meant by two-parter. Even though it's yeah. Um, Even though the full season tells like one story, it was that particular episode spanned over that particular chapter spanned over 2 episodes. So anyway, and it did that also for 2 because that was the I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the Anne Frank episode where the character who showed up who believed she was Anne Frank in an asylum. And then the third episode, it was, and it kind of hit you, like you didn't realize they were doing a Halloween specifically until the end of one episode, and then you started seeing people in costume, and then the next day it was like, okay, this is a Halloween day, and so what we're going to get at the end of this is we're going to get the zombies, the Marie Laveau zombies, and that actually kind of lingered on, and it's kind of like left on a cliffhanger. So that particular day actually spanned across 3 episodes, but it wasn't like you get the sense of the two-parter. It wasn't so much a continuation. It was just like 2 different storylines within the story, happening simultaneously in 2 different, and they told them in 2 different kind of episodes. It was great. It was interesting how they did that. And so after that, they started kind of breaking away from the two-parter. We got I don't know what they did. I don't remember. Maybe this was when they I don't know what they did too much for Freak Show. I can't remember it. I can't specifically isolate, hey, this is Halloween. Because it was a freak show. Like everybody was in costume all the way up and down, for real, for sure. And then like so the hotel, that was season 5. There was a two-parter in a sense that you got the story at the Devil's Night, which was the night before Halloween. And then you got the next week we actually got the actual Halloween. So not quite a two-parter, but yeah, 2 themes, two kind of closely Halloweenish and everything like that. And so, but yeah, what I missed about those early seasons is that traditional, what seemed it was going to be a tradition that would tie some things that would tie together, would be that traditional Halloween two-parter. But that was also back when those first 3 seasons, you would go in, you'd get 2 or 3, 4 episodes, and then you would take a break for a holiday break for Thanksgiving, maybe a 2-week break, and then you'd come back and you'd get 3, 4, maybe 5 more episodes, and then you would take another break, and that was the break between Christmas and New Year's, and sometimes it might be a 3-week break, and then you come back. So they called it the winter break, and then you would come back, and then you'd finish with 2, maybe 3 episodes. 1 episode to get you back in the mood, and then 2 episodes to finish it out. And those seasons, they would go from like 12 to 14 episodes, roughly, depending upon the story and everything like that. So, and I think that schedule went on for a while, but they ended up moving it, particularly with the season 6. Actually, I think it's season 5 is the one they really started to do that. Just kind of like stop the because they moved the time of the year Uh, I can't remember if they did that with Hotel or not. But I do know that from six on, they kind of were just telling the stories going forward without having to take the seasonal break because it took place earlier in the year. Like they would start in early September and tell the story throughout October before the holidays. So I guess if you cannot tell, I am a big, major American Horror Story fan, and by consequent, I have become a Brad Falchuk, Ryan Murphy collaboration uh, fan, and so they're delving into a series about what was his name? Uh, with Jeffrey Dahmer. They're going to do a series about Jeffrey Dahmer, who I kind of feel two ways about that because these are stories. Some of these things, like that happened in their real life, you know, in our lifetime, so that people can still remember it. So what I don't want to do is I don't want people to, because it's so recent, I wouldn't want to see the glamorization of you know, some of these serial killers and dramatizations of the true crime things that have happened. But I think this is going to be taking place from the point of view of the victims and the victim's family and everything. And I don't know. So sometimes, you know, Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk, their shows are, and they're at their best when they're exploitive. And then sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're more uh, based in reality, and there is a little bit more sensitivity in those areas. So you know, it's yeah, because he's done some documentaries and stuff too. So that's kind of cool. But so you know, and I'm not the only one out here. That I just saw a couple of people walking by, checking out the river and everything. So and to wrap it up, if you are looking for some place that's beautiful and lovely at night, and there are things to do. We have festivals coming up. I don't know, in a week or so, I'll be doing a jazz and blues festival. I'll be checking it out with my sister, just in Highland at the Columbia Park, and that's a day-long event, and we love it. And then, of course, to the next day, we're gonna bring out the old metal detector for the heck of it, you know. God, look at this moon up in that sky. Where? Let me pay attention to what I'm doing. I definitely, there it is. I definitely don't want to like be doing all this and just drop my phone, man. It's a full moon and it's beautiful. Come check us out. Love and light to everybody out there, and yeah, come to Northwest Louisiana. And if you do get here, let me know you're coming. Maybe we'll get some coffee. I'll meet random weird people, or random normal people, and I would be the weird person. I don't care. Okay, bye.